Children, today we are going to discuss the differentiation of determinant and second order derivative. Let's see how to differentiate a determinant. Suppose any determinant is given as fx equals to, in first row it's f1x, f2x, and in second row g1x, g2x. So whenever we differentiate any determinant, remember children, we first differentiate first row and then rest of the rows and column will be unchanged. The rest of the rows will be unchanged, will remain same. And then we differentiate second row and the other rows will remain unchanged. Right. So if fx equals to f1x, f2x, and second row is g1x, g2x, so f dash x will be f1 dash x, f2 dash x, g1x, and g2x. Now if when you are differentiating the first row, the second row will remain unchanged, remains same. Now we are differentiating second row here. That means if a function is given in form of determinant as r1, r2 as first row and second row, then the derivative of the function is first derivative of first row, then r2 will remain same, then the r1 will remain same, and derivative of second row. Right. Similarly, if any function is given as gx equals to, in determinant c1, c2, where c1, c2 are the two columns of this determinant, and we have to differentiate this determinant, g dash x we have to calculate, then what we'll do, we'll differentiate first column in first and then second column. So second column will remain same plus the differentiation of second column will do, and first column will remain same. Right children? So that means one row and one column at a time. When we are differentiating a determinant, we'll differentiate either one row or one column at a time. Okay, we cannot differentiate both the rows or both the columns at the same time. If when we are differentiating first row, the other rows will remain same. When we are differentiating first column, the other column will remain same. Right children? Note down please. Now let's see this sum children. If it is given that the determinant as second order, fx equals to, in determinant cos x and x as first row, 2 sin x and x square in second row, right? Then the derivative of this function, this determinant will be, first will derivate first row, the second row will remain same, then we'll derivate second row, the first row, the other rows will remain same. So the result will be, the derivation of first row will be the d by dx of cos x, d by dx of x, this will remain same, 2 sin x, x square. Then cos x, x, the derivative of second row is d by dx of 2 sin x and d by dx of x square. Then what we'll get? The derivative of first row is minus sin x, 1, d by dx of x is 1. And this row will remain same, plus cos x, x, 2 cos x and 2x. d by dx of x square is 2x. Right children? Note down please. Children, now we will be discussing about second order derivative. Suppose a function is given as fx equals to y, and if we have to differentiate this function, what we'll do? d by dx of fx equals to d by dx of y. So when we derivate fx, what we'll get? F dash x. And when we derivate y, we'll get dy by dx. So that means f dash x is representing dy by dx. Now if we again differentiate this function f dash x and dy by dx, then what we'll get? That means it is written d by dx of f dash x equals to d by dx of dy by dx. So when we differentiate f dash x again, what we'll get? F double dash x, and this d by dx of dy by dx will be d2y by dx2. So this is the notation for second order derivative. So similarly further we can calculate third order derivative. If we differentiate this second order derivative, that means d by dx of f double dash x equals to d by dx of d2y by dx2. Then what we'll get? F triple dash x equals to d3y upon dx3. Similarly, we can further derivate any order derivative by fourth order, fifth order. So we'll be doing second order derivative here today in the exercise, and we'll calculate the value of derivative of order 2. Right children? Note down this much first. Children, let's see few sums. Suppose any sum, it's given as y equals to x square plus 3x plus 2 and find d2y by dx2. Now the value of the function is given as y equals to x square plus 3x plus 2. Now we have to differentiate this and to calculate the find d2y by dx2. That means we have to calculate the second order derivative of the given function. Let's calculate what we'll do. We'll differentiate the function with respect to x. That means differentiating with respect to x. So dy by dx will be d by dx of x square plus 3x plus 2. So d by dx of x square is 2x and 3x x will be 1 and 2 will be 0. D by dx of constant will be 0. That means d by dx of x square plus 3x plus 2 will be 2x plus 3. Right. So that means the value of dy by dx is 2x plus 3. Now we have to calculate the value of d2y by dx2. So what we'll do, we'll differentiate dy by dx again. That means again we are saying that differentiating with respect to x. That means d by dx of dy by dx equals to d by dx of 2x plus 3. So d2y by dx2 will be 2. Right, children? Note down, please. Let's see another sum, children. In this sum, the question says if y equals to cot x, find d2y by dx2. That means find the second derivative of the function at x equals to pi by 4. Right. So first we calculate the value of d2y by dx2 and then we put x in place of x as pi by 4 to calculate the final answer. Okay. So the function is given y equals to cot x. When we differentiate with respect to x, it will become dy by dx equals to d by dx of cot x, and d by dx of cot x is minus cosec square x. Right. Now again we have to differentiate because we have to calculate the value of d2y by dx2. So we'll again differentiating with respect to x. So that means d by dx of dy by dx and minus sign will come out d by dx of cosec square x. So here I am applying chain rule. So we considering cos x as x. So cos square x will be considering x square, so it will become 2x. So minus 2 cosec x will come, and we have assumed cosec x as x. So again we are differentiating this term x again. So d by dx of cosec x. So it will become minus 2 cosec x and d by dx of cosec x. And derivative of cosec x is minus cosec x cot x. Right. So d2y by dx2 equals to minus 2 cosec x into minus cosec x cot x. So when we multiply, minus minus will become plus 2 cosec square x cot x. Right. So d2y by dx2 at x equals to pi by 4. Now when we put x equals to pi by 4 here, it will become cosec square pi by 4 into cot pi by 4. Right. And value of cosec pi by 4 is root 2. It will become root 2 square. Root 2 square is 2. 2 2s are 4. So the value of second derivative at x equals to pi by 4 is 4. Right, children? Note down, please. Let's see another sum, children. In this sum, the question says if y equals to 5 cos x minus 3 sin x, prove that d2y by dx2 plus y equals to 0. That means we have to prove that this is true. And the value of the function is given y equals to 5 cos x minus 3 sin x. Now if we differentiate this term, then what we'll get? Dy by dx equals to 5 d by dx of cos x minus 3 d by dx of sin x. And if we differentiate cos x, we'll get minus sin x. If we differentiate sin x, we'll get cos x. So finally what we'll get? Dy by dx minus 5 sin x plus 3 cos x. Now we have to calculate the value of d2y by dx2. So what we'll do? We'll differentiate this dy by dx again to obtain d2y by dx2. So when we differentiate this term again, d by dx of dy by dx, what we'll get? d2y by dx2 is equals to minus 5 d by dx of sin x plus 3 d by dx of cos x. So d by dx of sin x is cos x. So what we'll get? Minus 5 cos x minus 3 sin x. We can take minus sign common from both the terms. Then it will become 5 cos x plus 3 sin x. And this term can be written as y, because the value y is given 5 cos x minus 3 sin x. So the value y is 5 cos x minus 3 sin x, and it is given 5 cos x minus 3 sin x. That means we can put here as y. So what we'll get? d2y by dx2 equals to minus y. When we transfer this minus y that side, we'll get finally d2y by dx2 plus y equals to 0. Right, children? So we have proved this condition, d2y by dx2 plus y equals to 0. Note down, please.